Today when I was thinking about menopause, I was wondering, what am I really coming to say? Is it out of rumor, out of the myths and misconception, or what I learned in nursing school? And then when I was thinking about my nursing school, my training, there was nothing I was told about menopause. And when I think about the work that we do at Reproductive Health Network Kenya, our focus mostly has been on adolescent and youth. And so I've been thinking, so what? After we are done with the youth, so what? No one prepares the youth for the next phase. And so, and thanks, Evelyn, for giving that very clear background on what happens in our community. And I come from a community where I don't think I ever had any conversation going on about menopause. And maybe we had our dad saying, mamako amezeeka. And mamangu amezeeka aje, and she was only 35, 36. And we had, we had the community saying, now that one, amebaki tuku, she's only remained, or, she only has few years, and she has arthritis. And those are old age things, And when I was reflecting about this, and when we were sitting with ICRW thinking about this conference, I was really challenged. And I was challenged because as a woman who probably is headed to premenopause or menopause, I'm thinking, so my hay years are ending clearly, and I'll also start being written off. And the conversation will be, your mom has been running around a lot, doing a lot of work, and now she's tired. And could that be the beginning of a clandestine somewhere, a girlfriend somewhere, because then I have hot flashes. Maybe I'm just not ready to have sex. And who prepares me? Who has even talked to me? And I almost called my guy, and I'll not mention his name, because when I got my last born, he never had a conversation with me on now what do I expect next, because I was very clear that I'm done with having babies. And I also thought about, again, my training school as a nurse. And I work with mid-level providers that are today seated in this room. Most of them are midwives. And I was thinking, what is our role as midwives as we talk about menopause? Where have we failed our women? When they come to us, do we brush them off and just say, umefika menopause, sasa anza kudeal. Like you're at menopause, so start dealing. Start preparing yourself, maybe to go back to the village or just walk around with the fan. And interestingly, today we decided to give us the fan. Evelyn, you'll tell me why you gave me a fan, because I'm not having hot flashes yet. And for me, and that's why I'm just having a conversation around this, even as we talk about this. And we brought in our young people that we work with, our adolescent and youth, because we failed them. Why have we failed them? We have not prepared them for the next phase. Just the same way I've not been prepared. And I'm here to learn. I'm glad that I'm sitting on a table of experts, but also as a midwife who is reminded that, what then is my role? What are our providers supposed to be doing at this point in time? And where we have a lot of issues that come with aging, climate change, but also SRH changing as quite fast with the food that we are eating. No one ever told us that, where I come from, actually, when you give birth, then you grow fat. Professor Tole, am I lying? Then your man is taking good care of you, right? And you'll go home and they'll say, hey, kijana anafanya kazi mzuri. But no one tells you that when you get to 40, shedding off that weight is going to be problematic. And you'll have backaches that don't end. You'll have migraines. You're forever in the chemist. You almost have 1,000,001 painkillers. And you will be paying for spa, and it's not about that. It's the weight. And then now, those are the things that the experts will tell us today, start checking in. And so, as an institution that is working with providers who are mainly in the communities, and where most of these women will not have the privilege of someone breaking the taboo and telling them that, you know what, this is a normal change. This is the period as a woman you're supposed to enjoy sex. This is a period as a woman you need to be more active, extremely active, and enjoy the years that are waiting for you. And so we are reminded that we need a policy, and that's why I'm seated next to Dr. Serem, so that I'll be hitting him all the time. He's given me enough policies for adolescent and youth, but so what? After they are done with the adolescent and the youth issues. And we know there have been a lot of issues around that. But so what? So we want to make sure by the time we are living here today, we have commitments that we are going to have guidelines to sensitize our healthcare providers so that they know that clearly when a woman comes to you during delivery, when a woman tells you as a healthcare provider that this is my last baby, do we already want to start having those conversations and preparing them for the next phase? When they're having their first baby, depending with the age they come to have the babies, are we ready to have those conversations? How do we integrate menopause with the existing programs? Because again, when we make it an isolation and an issue that we think we need to whisper about, then it becomes problematic. So I'm glad that ICRW and RHNK with other partners, we've taken the bold step to move from the chama meetings where these conversations happen, you know, where women are closed and they're like, hey, you know, I can't rise to the occasion. I'm forever dry. What's happening? Oh, I think go and see Dr. XY to give you some hormones. But what are those hormones for? Why wasn't I prepared early? And where we need to tell women that we also need to exercise. We need to hike. Just because I'm 50, it doesn't mean that my life has stopped. And so I would love to see guidelines for healthcare providers, training them, sensitizing them, especially the midwives who spend a lot of times with women, right from when they start to give birth to the second baby, to when they stop, to the contraceptives, and to the changes that come. And especially the midwives that are in the communities where we have a neglected population that is dealing with the challenges that come with menopause. Then how do we continuously just make the menopause conversation normal in the dialogues that we have in the community, in the conferences that we have? How do we normalize these conversations? I want from this meeting to see us getting into radio media, radio stations, writing op-eds around menopause and how women need to navigate that. And also support women so that when we're thinking about their lifestyles, how are we supporting them? How are we working with nutritionists to give them comprehensive, diet so that as they navigate this process, then it becomes a normal process. It's not something that, considered to be a taboo, something that is supposed to be whispered, or something that is normalized that, a woman has come of age and it's her time for her to just sit and rest. So thank you so much for honoring our invite, and we'll be inviting all of you to be part of, the process that will engage policymakers in developing guidelines, but also policies that will ensure that menopause becomes a conversation that is normalized in this country. Thank you so much.